You know, people like to think they're in control. They wake up, make their little plans, take their little steps, thinking they know where they're going. But the truth is, control is an illusion. You ever seen a man lost in a storm? He runs left, he runs right, but the wind just laughs and throws him where it wants. That's life. That's fate. That's him playing his little game. You see, people love to believe they're in control. It's funny, really. They wake up, stretch their arms, look in the mirror, and tell themselves, "Today I decide." Ha! Like the world's just waiting for their permission. Like the universe gives a damn about their schedules, their little routines, their carefully drawn maps. But deep down, deep where the fear lives, they know. They know they're just a speck in the grand design, a pawn that thinks it's a king, and that's where the joke begins. You ever watch a man who thinks he's got it all figured out? He walks with a little bounce, chest puffed out, convinced he's got the answers. He's got the job, the house, the car. Oh, he's a real somebody. But then, just like that, life pulls the rug. A little crack in the perfect glass of his world. Maybe it's a missed promotion. Maybe it's a phone call in the middle of the night. Maybe it's something smaller. He drops his coffee, spills it all over that fancy little suit. And suddenly, the illusion shatters. The truth seeps in. He's not steering the ship. He never was. That's the thing about people. They love to pretend. They love to build these sand castles of certainty, convinced the tide isn't coming for them. But it always comes. Always. And when it does, the look on their faces. That moment when realization sets in, when they see just how little say they actually have. That's the punchline. That's the twist in the story they never saw coming. People talk about free will. Free will? That's rich. Tell me, did you choose where you were born? Did you choose your parents, the school you went to, the street you grew up on? No. That was all decided for you. Before you even took your first breath, the game was already rigged. The dice were rolled, and yet here you are, walking around thinking you've got the controller in your hands. It's cute, it really is. You ever see a man in a casino? He throws his chips down, rolls the dice, and smiles like he's the one in charge, like he's got the magic touch. But the house? The house always wins. The game was set long before he walked through those doors. And that's life. That's how it works. But people, they don't like that idea. They hate it. Because admitting they're not in control, that terrifies them more than anything. More than death, more than failure, more than the dark. So they lie to themselves. They say, no, I make the choices. I'm the master of my fate. And oh, how fragile that little delusion is. One wrong move, one unexpected twist, and the whole thing comes crumbling down. You ever seen someone try to fight the inevitable? It's like watching a fly trapped in a spider's web. Oh, they struggle. They wriggle, they pull and twist, thinking if they just try hard enough they can break free. But the more they fight, the tighter it gets. The web wasn't built for escape. It was built for the fight. It was built to catch them. And when the spider finally comes crawling down, they realize something. They were never getting out. They were never in control. People love their plans. They love their dreams, their 5-year goals, their checklists. But life doesn't care about your plans. Life flips the board, scatters the pieces, and laughs while you scramble to pick them up. And yet, people still keep pretending, still keep telling themselves they've got it all handled, that they're in charge, but they're not. They never were. And the ones who figure that out, well, they stop struggling, they stop pretending, they sit back, watch the show, and maybe, just maybe, enjoy the joke. People are funny little creatures. Always in a hurry, always rushing somewhere, like the world's gonna run out of time if they don't move fast enough. They can't sit still, can't wait. It eats them up inside. That itch, that need to do something, anything, just to feel like they're in control. But you know what happens when you move too fast? You trip, you fall flat on your face. And the world, it doesn't stop to help you up. It just keeps spinning, laughing while you pick the dirt out of your teeth. You ever watch someone in a rush? They're a mess, sweating, shaking, stumbling over their own feet. They think if they just push harder, move quicker, they'll get what they want. But that's not how the game works. The game's patient. The game waits. And the ones who win, they know when to sit back, when to hold still. Because when you're too busy running, you miss things. Important things. The cracks in the system. The little details everyone else is too distracted to see. But people, no, they don't want to hear that. They want it now, fast, easy. And when they don't get it, they panic. Impatience, it's like a sickness. Eats away at your mind, makes you reckless, desperate. You start cutting corners, skipping steps. And that's when it all goes wrong. You think you're getting ahead, but really, you're walking straight into a trap. And the best part, you don't even see it coming. Not until it's too late. You ever watch a guy try to force his way through life? It's like watching a rat in a maze. He scurries left, then right, banging his head against every wall, thinking if he just moves faster, he'll find the way out. But the maze doesn't care how fast he moves. It's already built. It's already decided. People can't stand to wait. Makes them nervous. Makes them squirm. Give them 5 minutes of silence and they start talking. Talking just to fill the void. They'll say anything to break the tension, even if it destroys them. And that's the trick. You let them run themselves ragged. Let them twist themselves into knots, because the more they push, the easier they are to break. All it takes is one wrong move, one little mistake, and everything they've built comes crashing down. And you just sit back and watch. Easy. You ever see a spider? It doesn't chase its prey. It doesn't run around like a fool. It just waits. Still. Quiet. Patient, because it knows sooner or later something's gonna walk right into its web. And when it does, that's when the fun starts. But people, no, they're not spiders. They're flies, buzzing around, trying to force their way through life and wondering why they keep getting caught. They don't understand. Sometimes The best move is no move at all. But tell people to wait, and they lose their minds. They think if they're not doing something, they're falling behind. They hate the idea that things might happen on their own time, not theirs. But you know what's funny? The ones who wait, really wait, they see things no one else does. They spot the cracks, the weak spots, the perfect moments to strike. And when they move, oh, when they move, it's over. Just like that. No fuss, no mess, clean. But the impatient ones, they burn themselves out. Chase every little thing until they're too tired to see what really matters. It's like watching someone play a game they don't understand. They think if they press all the buttons fast enough, they'll win. But they never stop to learn the rules. Never stop to figure out how the game really works. And that's why they lose. Every single time. Meanwhile, the patient ones, they wait. They watch. And when the moment's right, they make their move. One step, just one, and the whole board shifts. But people don't want to hear that. They want shortcuts, quick fixes. They think if they move fast enough, they can outrun the consequences, but that's not how it works. Sooner or later, everything catches up. Every mistake, every rushed decision, it all comes back around. And when it does, oh, it's a beautiful thing to watch. Because while they were busy scrambling, the ones who waited, well, they already won. People like to think they know when things should happen now. Right now, they tap their fingers, pace back and forth, watch the clock like they can make it move faster just by staring at it. But time doesn't care. It doesn't speed up just because you're impatient. It moves how it wants, when it wants. And the ones who think they can force it, oh, they learn the hard way. They push, they shove, they claw at the doors that won't open, and when they finally do, they're either too tired to walk through or they realize it wasn't their door to begin with. It's funny, people pray for something, beg for it, scream at the sky for it, give it to me, I'm ready. But are they really? See, they think they know what's best. They think they know when the moment is right. But life's got its own schedule. And life is never early, never late. It arrives exactly when it's supposed to. But try telling that to someone who's desperate. Oh, they won't listen. They'll push forward, stumble, bleed, break, all because they thought they could rush the clock. And that's where the real fun begins. You ever see someone plant a seed and then scream at the dirt, grow faster! They water it too much, dig it up to check if it's sprouting, smother it with their own impatience. And what happens? It dies. It never had a chance, not because it wasn't meant to grow, but because someone didn't trust the timing. That's what people do. They kill what's meant for them because they can't sit still and let it come when it's ready. The ones who get it, oh, they're different. They don't rush. They don't force. They sit back, smile, and watch the pieces fall into place. And when the time is right, exactly right, they step in. Just one move and everything clicks. No struggle, no wasted effort, just perfect, effortless motion. And the ones who forced it, the ones who wasted their time trying to pull the future into the present, Oh, they're left in the dust, wondering why nothing ever works out for them. See, timing is a funny thing. It's like a puzzle. You can't just jam the pieces together and expect it to look right. You have to wait for the right piece, the right moment, the right fit. But people, oh, they're impatient. They try to force something that isn't ready, and when it falls apart, they blame the world. They scream at the sky, "Why me? Why doesn't anything work for me?" But it wasn't the world that got it wrong, it was them. They moved too soon. You ever see a lion hunt? It doesn't chase after every little thing that moves. No, no, no. It waits. It watches. It knows the right moment, the exact second to strike, and when it does, oh, it doesn't miss. But the fool who runs at the first sight of movement, oh, he tires himself out, wastes his energy, chases shadows, and in the end, he's the one who goes hungry. That's how life works. The ones who trust the timing, the ones who wait, they always get what's meant for them. And the ones who don't, well, they just keep running in circles, chasing things that were never meant to be theirs in the first place. And the best part, the real kicker, they'll never understand why. They'll blame bad luck, fate, anything but themselves. They'll never see that the only thing standing between them and what they want was their own impatience. People like to think they're the ones rolling the dice, that they're the ones deciding where the pieces fall. But the truth is, the game was rigged long before they even sat at the table. Oh, they shuffle their little cards, place their little bets, thinking they've got a say in how this all plays out. But fate's the dealer, and the dealer always wins. You ever see a man try to fight what's coming for him? It's funny, he sees the signs, feels it creeping up his spine, but instead of accepting it, he panics, runs left, runs right, ducks, dodges, thinking he can outmaneuver something that was written long before he was even born. It's like watching a puppet try to cut its own strings, cute but pointless. Because no matter how fast he runs, no matter how hard he fights, fate's already there. Sitting in the corner, smiling, waiting for him to catch up. People like to pretend they have choices, that they're in control. If I do this, then that will happen. If I work hard, I'll get what I want. If I plan everything just right, nothing can go wrong. Ha! That's the real joke, isn't it? They act like life is some kind of equation, like they can solve it with enough effort, but the ones who know, the ones who really know, oh, they understand. It doesn't matter how carefully you build your house of cards. One gust of wind, and it's all gone. And that gust, that's fate playing its little game. You ever watch dominoes fall? One piece tips, just one, and the rest, they don't stand a chance. But the first piece, oh, that was set up long ago, before you even knew the game had started. And yet people still try to stand up in the middle of the fall, thinking they can stop it, thinking if they just push hard enough, they can change what's coming. But the weight of what's already been set in motion, it's too much. One wrong step and they're right back where they were always meant to be. You ever notice how some people seem to get everything without even trying? They walk through life like the road was paved just for them. And others, oh, they fight, they struggle, they push against the current, and still they get nothing. Why? Because it was never about effort, never about how hard they tried. It was about where they were supposed to end up. And that was decided long before they even knew they were playing. People like to say, I make my own luck. Ha! That's rich. If that were true, everyone would be sitting on a throne, but they're not. Most of them are scrambling in the dirt, trying to play a game that was never in their favor. They think they can cheat fate, that if they work late, if they save every penny, if they smile at the right people, shake the right hands, life will go their way. But fate? Fate doesn't care about their little efforts. Fate decides when the doors open and when they stay shut. And the ones who don't get that, oh, they spend their whole lives trying to pick locks that were never meant for them. You ever watch someone drown? They thrash, they fight, they claw at the water, thinking if they just struggle hard enough they can stay afloat. But the more they fight, the deeper they sink. And the ones who survive, they're the ones who stop fighting, who go still, who trust the current to take them where they need to go. But that's the problem with people. They don't trust the current. They think they know better than the tide. Some people, they sit back. They let the pieces fall where they may. They understand the game. They know they're not the ones making the rules. And when fate comes knocking, they don't run. They don't fight. They just smile, tip their hat, and walk right through the door that was always meant for them. But the rest, oh, the rest will keep running, keep fighting, keep screaming at the sky, never realizing they were always exactly where they were supposed to be. People love to act like they see everything, like they've got it all figured out. They wake up, go through their little routines, follow their little plans, thinking they know what's coming next. But the truth? Oh, the truth is, most of them are blind, walking through life with their eyes wide shut. They think they're making smart moves, calculated decisions, but really, they're just reacting, jumping at shadows, running in circles, chasing something they don't even understand. And that's the best part, because the ones who don't see, oh, they always fall first. You ever watch a magician work? It's all about distraction. Look here, not there. Watch this hand. Don't worry about the other. And people, oh, they fall for it every time. They focus on what they think matters, never noticing the real trick happening right in front of their eyes. Life's the same way. You move too fast, you blink, you get caught up in the wrong details, and just like that, you miss it. The one thing that could have changed everything. But people don't like to hear that. No. They want to believe they're too smart to be fooled, that they see it all. But if that were true, oh, they wouldn't be where they are. You ever see a cat watching a mouse? It doesn't pounce right away. No, it waits, stays still, watches, because it knows the second it moves, the mouse will run. So it takes its time, studies the pattern, waits for the perfect moment, and when it strikes, oh, it's over before the mouse even knows what hit it. But people, no patience. They jump too soon, make a move before they've seen the whole board, and that's why they lose. Every single time, people walk into situations thinking they've got all the information they need. They assume and assuming, oh, that's where the fun begins. They don't ask questions, they don't pay attention, they just act. And when it all falls apart, oh, the excuses they make. I didn't see it coming. How was I supposed to know? That's the thing, though. They were supposed to know, but they were too busy moving, too busy running, too busy trying to force things to go their way instead of stopping just for a second and looking. You ever watch a man play chess against himself? He thinks he's so clever, so ahead of the game. He moves a piece, then another, countering his own moves like he's some kind of mastermind. But the problem is he can't surprise himself. He already knows what's coming next. He's making moves without really thinking, without really seeing, and that's exactly what people do. They assume they know the other side of the game, but they don't. They move blindly, guessing, hoping, wishing, instead of watching, instead of waiting, and that's why they lose before they even begin. You ever see someone walk into a trap? It's not always obvious. Sometimes it's a slow process. A little step here, a little mistake there. They don't notice it at first. They keep walking, thinking everything's fine, thinking they're in control. And then, the moment they realize they're caught, it's already too late. But the signs, the signs were always there. They just weren't looking. Most people, they don't observe, they react. They move without understanding. They think they know the game, but they never stop to watch how it's really played. And that's why the ones who do watch, they're always 2 steps ahead. They see the cracks, the weak points, the hidden doors. And when they make their move, it's not rushed, it's not desperate, it's perfect, because they knew exactly when to strike, exactly when to step forward, and everyone else, they're just scrambling to catch up, wondering why they never saw it coming. People love to think they're in control. They wake up, stretch, sip their coffee, and step out into the world, thinking they're the ones pulling that if they just make the right choices, say the right words, shake the right hands, everything will go exactly the way they planned. But that's the real joke, isn't it? Because control is nothing more than an illusion. A little trick the world plays on you to keep you running, chasing, grasping at something that was never really there. You ever see a man try to hold sand in his hands? The tighter he grips, the faster it slips through his finger. And that's people right there. They think if they hold on hard enough, they can keep everything just the way they want it. But life? Life has other plans. The more they try to control it, the more it wriggles out of their grasp, laughing at their feeble attempts to pin it down. But do they stop? Do they learn? No. They try harder. They push more. And when it all comes crashing down, they sit there shaking their heads, wondering where it all went wrong. You ever watch a fly caught in a web? It struggles, thrashes, fights like hell to break free. But the more it struggles, the more tangled it gets. And the spider just waits. Because it knows, sooner or later, that fly is going to wear itself out. It'll be too tired, too weak to fight anymore. And that's when the real fun begins. People, they're no different. They waste all their energy trying to control things they never had power over in the first place. And by the time they realize it, it's already too late. You ever hear someone talk about their plan? Oh, it's always so neat, so perfect in their heads. First I'll do this, then that will happen, and then everything will fall right into place. They think the world works like a little checklist, like if they just follow the steps, they'll get exactly what they want. But life doesn't care about their lists. Life doesn't follow their schedule. Life doesn't knock politely and ask if it can come in. No, no, no. Life kicks down the door, turns the table over, and laughs while they scramble to pick up the pieces. And the best part? They'll try to put it all back exactly the way it was, thinking if they just work hard enough they can force things back on track. But the track, oh, that track was never real to begin with. You ever see a man fight the ocean? Stand there, fists clenched, screaming at the waves like he can make them stop? It's funny, pathetic really, because the ocean doesn't care. It keeps moving, keeps crashing, keeps swallowing everything in its path. And the man, oh, he'll keep fighting until he's exhausted, until he's drowning, until he finally realizes he was never going to win. The only way to survive the ocean is to stop fighting it, to let it take you where it wants. But people, they don't like that idea. They'd rather sink than admit they were never in control. You ever notice how some people seem so at peace while everyone else is running around losing their minds? It's because they get it. They know the trick. They don't waste their energy trying to control things they can't. They don't fight the tide. They don't wrestle with fate. They just watch, wait. And when the moment's right, they move with the current instead of against it. And that, oh, that's why they always come out on top, because they understand. The ones who let go, who stop grasping, who stop forcing, oh, they're the only ones who ever really win.